Hello there, and welcome to the Polly Podcast. My name is Torkel, and the written versions of these episodes can be found in the blog over at Pollyverse.com. So hey, welcome to episode number 2, the second ever episode of the new Polly Podcast. Today's topic is something near and dear to my heart. Something that I like to call the Japan Trilogy. It's a little EP that I once made, and in my short-lived music career. So basically it was a little concept album that I made after I was obsessing over the vaporwave genre for over a year or so. Completely inspired me to the point where I just had to go out and try making my own little thing. I had some experience with music, making music before. I've been in little high school death metal bands doing the growling vocals. I used to do that. And I also messed around on FL Studio back in the day, making some drum beats and some electronic stuff. Nothing any good, of course, but a bit of fun. So I saw vaporwave. I sort of buried all this stuff, and then I saw vaporwave music, and this is when I was getting into graphic art, and I was loving the art from vaporwave. So I started replicating that, and I was listening to the music, obviously, and I just thought it was amazing the way that vaporwave culture makes everything aesthetic. It makes art out of literally internet culture and consumerism embodied in a visual form or an audio form. It's albums or bands like, I think they're called Tanning Salon. There's More Soft as a genre. There's beautiful tunes that make it sound like you're walking through some sort of a shopping mall from the 90s and things like that. And they're glitchy and very internet electronic sounding at the same time. So it's like this future past mashup. I loved it. Still kind of like it today. I listen to a little bit of it still. If you don't know about it, if you're unindoctrinated, then I really recommend browsing through the 24/7 vaporwave radio stations on YouTube. There's a bunch of those that you can find. Even just like the lo-fi hip-hop chill beats to study to, sometimes they'll play some as well. But there's specific vaporwave ones as well that play non-stop. And there's heaps of playlists on Spotify as well of things like retro wave and more soft and anything you can. There's so many subgenres. I remember I got into sea punk at one stage, and that was really weird. I didn't really like the music. I just liked the art. It's like pink dolphins everywhere. But yeah, you can pretty much find anything. Outrun is one of the better ones, I think. Outrun sounds really cool. Very similar to retro wave. I don't really know the difference, but they're cool. Definitely a cool aesthetic, like that Blade Runner sort of music. Yeah, real nice. Feels like you're driving in a car in Tron Legacy or something. So I can't really say that my debut EP is really anything special. We're sort of going off the music theme from last episode still. And as a lover of music, as I've explained, and what I entail is good music, I feel like it would be a complete lie if I said that this EP lives up to anything. I made it very quickly. Some songs I maybe made over the course of a year or something, but I didn't dive into it. If I did, I could have made it all very quickly, I'm sure. And it's mainly samples, I did a little bit of synth stuff. I think I used mainly GarageBand on my old MacBook. You can get some pretty good sounds out of that. I think the only annoying part with it is drums. I can't remember what I did with the drums, but yeah, it's really annoying to use drums on GarageBand. Maybe I found some sample drum tracks or something, but basically I just mashed a bunch of samples, changed the tempo of them and things like that. Changed, pitched them differently, put them in different keys, and made my own little arpeggiators or little synth hits and things like that. Very minimal effort. My favorite song is on the thing is called Black Market Chicken Dicks. I think that's what I ended up calling it. And it has this amazing like build up right when it hits, and it's sort of the chorus, and it sounds really cool. It's like some sort of almost trappy, not quite. But the bassy parts, I just don't know how to mix and master and things like that. So the bassy parts in between, I don't think you can really hear them unless you're wearing headphones. So yeah, it's a bit of a beautiful mess. I had a lot of fun making it though. I had a lot of fun putting together all those samples, which I later found was another thing that I really liked to do with graphic art. Well, actually, I already knew that I liked it with graphic art. I can't really draw or anything. I studied an arts degree doing game art and animation without really being able to draw or anything like that. But I love just taking pictures and manipulating them in Photoshop and things like that, and yeah, just making something original out of something that already exists. I love that. So yeah, and distorting it and everything, making my own little sounds with the EP. I think with some more spare time, like if I can't think of anything else to do, I would really like to learn more about some digital audio workshop programs and to try to actually, figure out how to do it properly. I think I downloaded Ableton or something, like a trial on my computer, and just never opened it just a few months ago. I would really like to do that one day and combine some written work with it. Maybe make some spoken word pieces and things like that. Or some sort of electronic weird music with talking over it. Which is another project actually that I'm working on with a friend, which I'll mention in a future blog post. That's coming along really well. He makes the music, and then I can do the part that I can actually do, the writing and the reading. But yeah, you'll hear more about that soon. Oh yeah, one of the songs from the EP, from the Japan Trilogy, is called A Meeting with the Yakuza. It's I actually ended up using it with old good boy Luke Thorogood in a staged performance that we did. I think we did it maybe a couple times. We filmed it as well, but I think I've lost the footage, unfortunately. It was on an old USB. We filmed it in front of a green screen at my uni. And anyway, we performed it at Reverb Night at Edgehill University back in England. I had an open mic night, and it was awesome. It was so much fun. It was a script that I wrote for a video game. It was like an intro, like a sort of title trailer sort of opening sequence to a video game. And he played one character who's lurking in the shadows, being all cool and slick and saying strange things. And then I'm narrating what's going on. And it worked so well over the music because it's a cyberpunk future is the video game. It was called Era Singularity. And I think I actually have it up on Pollyverse.com if you want to read it. Eventually, I'm going to put a reading up as well. I might do it on the podcast, actually. So yeah, you should definitely check that out if you're interested. It's in this little cyberpunk story. I definitely want to make more in that universe as well. But anyway, the Japan Trilogy music sort of went perfectly with it, especially that song in particular, A Meeting with the Yakuza. So definitely listen to that song if you're interested. It's one of the okay ones. It's very basic. And yeah, like I said earlier, it's not really like this amazing piece of music. Like I'm not trying to be out here on Triple J or anything like that. It's pretty trash, you know. It's like some SoundCloud shit that will never get played, basically. But I like it. I had fun with it, and I enjoyed it as a whole, like the product all combined together. So the artwork and everything like that. I like the aesthetic, which is what vaporwave meant to me. Because a lot of vaporwave is pretty bad music. Some of it is legitimately very good, but some of it's just really bad music. But it's just a really cool aesthetic with the album art and everything like that, or maybe a cool video that they made. Which is actually another thing that I've been meaning to do is maybe knock together a few videos to put up on Pollyverse YouTube channel with the for each of the songs. So look out for that perhaps in the future. And yeah, I think that the songs can kind of work, like I said, when you put it together with some words as like background music for a story or something like that. So who knows, maybe I'll give that a go. For the error singularity reading, might finally add that together as like a full piece that you can listen to. That'd be awesome. And yeah, today's just a short episode. I don't really have much more to say about it. I don't really remember much of the process, to be honest. It was sort of just like I loved playing around on GarageBand because it was so accessible when I got my MacBook, so user friendly. And I had a large library of free to use samples that were really fun to just edit around with, which is, like I said, something that I still do to this day in other forms. I love editing videos that I do for my friend Rhett on his YouTube channel, Rhettazandra. And when I was doing my animation degree, one of the things I was most interested in was compositing, which is where you take all the different elements for a project and make it seamlessly work together. Like if you're doing a movie, you might take some green screen footage, some people, acting in front of it. Maybe there's some, what's it called? Motion capturing to do as well. Some people walking around with suits, those green morph suits on, tennis balls all over them. And maybe there's some practical effects as well. There's some, baby Yodas or something. And then or some photographs in the background to make it look like you're on an island or something. And then you make it all work together so it looks like they're actually there. I love the idea of that. And I didn't get deep enough in the degree to fully learn it, but yeah, something I'm very interested in. I don't know. I think it's an organizational kind of thing. Yeah. So I love organizing all my files on the computer as well. It's kind of weird. But anyway, so that's sort of what this project was, and that's why one of the many reasons why vaporwave appealed to me. One of my big influences artistically has definitely been vaporwave. As you can tell if you're watching this on YouTube, the background that I'm using, I got this Singaporean filmmaker, Perry Lam. Check him out as well. Perry Lam on Instagram. He's a super cool guy. I commissioned him to make it for me, and he does vaporwave sort of style stuff. He makes short films that are sort of cyberpunky. I just love that aesthetic. So anyway, that's probably all for today, but I'll leave you with a little song from the album. I think I'm going to leave you with the intro song titled Life Has No Porpoise. So thanks for listening, and stay safe, stay well, and just maybe I might see you next time. Bye-bye.